Okay.
Yay!
Yay, super excited. All right, let's see. We
Yeah, I
are,
did share us out in my Facebook group, so
yay.
hopefully some of you guys come on.
Oh, and whoops.
It says we have 2 in chat, so say
Yes,
hi,
I'm, yes, hello. And if whoever's out there, please definitely join in the chat. And thank you, Kristen, for joining us. And I wanted to bring you on today. Monday mindset, and I think supporting each other and, kind of bringing on some positivity for reselling and supporting each other, I think is a very good subject that I wanted to talk about. And I think Kristen's been really, really great for as a role model for a lot of us. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Stina.
Hi,
Uh,
ladies.
is somebody to support others and lift up a lot of us who are resellers. And I know personally, you have been a huge role model for me and somebody that has really helped me along as a reseller. So thank you so much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so tell us a little bit kind of about your start in reselling and kind of how your mindset, how you kind of get into the mindset and how you stay positive and kind of your
Okay.
story.
Well, my mom just came in the chat. So hi, Pat. I have to say hi to mom.
Hi,
And
Mom.
hi, everybody else that's here. So briefly, my backstory is I started reselling probably 7 or 8 years ago. I really liked it. And what actually got me into it was I was kind of going to thrift stores already, like looking for the deals on designer stuff and whatnot. And I saw these Kate Spade loafers and they were so beautiful and in such beautiful condition, but they were too small. They were like a size like 6. And I'm like, how can I just leave these here? Like what about they end up in the landfills? Like that was my whole thing, like all this stuff, if people don't buy it, it's going to clog up our landfills, pollute our earth and everything. So I was like, I'm going to buy them anyway. I'm going to just figure out what I can do with it. And that's how I found reselling. I kind of was doing a lot of research and, I knew of eBay and Poshmark, but I didn't really know like how to do it. So I did a lot of research with that. Started that way. I started with a lot of stuff from my own closet because if you want to make money without spending money, you can just, do that for reselling and start selling stuff from your own home. So then I decided I really liked it and I was less liking my full-time job. Long story short with that is it was just a very toxic situation. I was there for 6 years. The staff was catty. The management sucked. I was constantly getting more and more, work put on me, but not more pay. So I tried to speak to management about it. They didn't want anything to do with it. And so I decided to come up with a plan to go full-time reselling because I was doing pretty well with it part-time. So I started saving money because I figured if it doesn't work out, I got to have some type of savings. I got to be able to pay my bills still, all that good stuff. So I think I saved probably about $12,000 in like 2 years. I was like, I'm going to sock money away. This is going to happen. I'm going to do this. So I did, and I quit, and it was heartbreaking to leave the doctor because he was so great. But at the end, you're number one, right?
Right.
No one else matters but you. You're number one. That's it. So you have to worry about yourself. So I had to worry about myself, and I started reselling full time. My husband was completely freaking out, but he didn't want to say anything. So it's been working. I used most of that money to pay off most of my credit card bills, so I didn't have to worry about monthly payments and stuff like that. I can focus really on the reselling, and it's been working. And I just said, you know what, if worst comes to worst, I'll just get a part-time job to supplement. I'll get a full-time job if it doesn't work out. But in the end, if you want something to happen, you're going to figure out a way to do it. And that's like kind of where my positivity comes in, my motivation, why I have like my Facebook group, I created the Instagram, I have the newsletter now. Yes, you have to remember, you have to think about yourself and everyone you have to support, like our fur babies or, you know, a significant other or something like that. So, you know, you have to worry about yourself. You're not going to just bend over backwards to make somebody else money. So basically, so basically I just think like, you know what, if I don't work today, I'm not going to make any money. So I need to think about how am I going to stay focused? How am I going to stay positive? So I think, like I was talking to Leslie backstage before about this, is I kind of use my positivity to you guys for me too. Like it helps me as well. So it's kind of like it gives me that push to keep you guys on track, but it's working for me as well. So I just, I'm always like reading, like, you know, any self-help books, empowerment stuff, you know, positive affirmations, even like the simplest thing, like to scroll on Instagram and look through all like the positive quotes and stuff. And, you know, you'll get one or two that will resonate for the day, or you'll find a positive affirmation that you can take with you for the day or for the week or something. And that's really what I try to focus on and what I try to, you know, convey to you guys as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And if anybody here is not in Kristen's Facebook group, definitely you should be, because it is really inspiring. I'm in it and I always look forward to the quotes and everything. And, you know,
I'll put it in the chat.
What's that?
It's just Another Chance Resale. So just search that on Facebook, and you know, it's a private group because I don't want just anybody, any riffraff, you know, commenting crazy stuff. So it's a private group. So just, you know, click to join and I'll accept you.
Yeah. And I can put a link in the description afterward too. So
cool.
But it's great. It's really, it's really awesome. And, you know, another place to find like great quotes and stuff is on Pinterest. If you, I know that when I was working as a manager in an office, I would often like print out quotes and like put them on our
oh
wall
yeah,
in the
I
break
did
room
that
and
too.
stuff.
I had a whole bunch of like bash negativity quotes like on my wall, like next to my desk and stuff. And like my patients would always read it. Oh my God, I love that one, or I love that one. And I'll even get emails from, you know, my newsletter people, recipients, I guess. They'll send me emails like, oh, this really resonated with me today. Thank you so much. I needed that. And I'm like, yes, I'm like, that's what I love. Like, that's, you know, that makes me happy.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. How often do you put out your newsletter?
It's once a week. So I kind of like work on it through the week. I think about, you know, what I want to talk about. I'll write it out in like a Word document. And then when I think it's ready, I'll put it into my email program and set it to deliver to you guys for 8 a.m. Eastern on every Monday morning.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. And so you've got like a little bit of like positivity that you kind of thread into that for everybody.
So it's kind of like a mix of everything. Like I'll talk about any, you know, important events going on for that week, which I talked about, you know, this live. I talked about, you know, my YouTube live coming up on Thursday. I'll put links in there. I've done like links to like books that I'm reading. I do a gratitude section, an affirmation section. So I kind of just try to get you guys to just think about one thing that you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the electricity in your house. You know, I'm grateful to have lights to be able to see, or you know, like stuff like that. Like just to really realize like how great life is and how great your life is, even with the simplest thing, you know, the littlest thing.
Exactly. Do you do a gratitude journal?
No, but I was thinking about it because I've seen stuff like that where it's just like every either every morning or every evening or whatever, you just write down like 3 or 4 or 5 things that you're grateful for. I think about them all the time. I just don't write them down.
Yeah, exactly. Do any of you guys who's here in the chat, do any of you guys do a gratitude journal? And if you do, does it seem to make a difference for you? I know for me, I love, and I'm not always consistent about it, but I feel that it does make a difference if you do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It definitely makes a difference. And I try to at least, put it out there, out in the universe, what I'm grateful for, because it's so important to at least kind of like throw that out there, because it kind of can come back to you like tenfold.
Oh, yeah. And it's easy to overlook things that we're all grateful for too, and it can be such a positive reminder. And like even if you save like the positive quotes that you find online, or if you're reading a book, and like what I do is I have a notebook. And if anything resonates with me, I'll write it in the notebook. Then every once in a while, I'll go through that notebook and I'll just read everything that I wrote down.
Yep.
And like, you just feel so much better. Like it gives you that little like push to like keep going.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you. When you said earlier that, to throw out those positive quotes and to, throw that stuff out there to everybody, that, to kind of help lift people up, and you're also doing that for yourself.
Yep.
I know I do that because sometimes I struggle with being motivated myself. And when I'm trying to help motivate others, or I'm trying to, talk things out with other people, when they're struggling, it helps me kind of like, make that step forward, because there's days I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it today.
That was me today. The struggle bus was, rip roaring because I just couldn't find it in me. And I'm like, you know what? I have to get out a video today. I have to, list some things. And I just kind of do like a reward little system to,
Yes.
Like, all right, let me list 3 things, and then I'll go, sit outside with Dallas for 10 minutes or something,
Yes.
So you've got to like kind of like trick yourself almost into like getting things done.
Yes, exactly. That's so true. Let's see. I like this. I watch inspirational videos in the morning because that's when I'm super vulnerable to being upset.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That's the most important time, is the morning. You got to wake up on the right foot. That's it.
Yep. Yeah. Like Dawn said, it was a couple like episodes or, Mondays ago that, to do that like or like first thing in the morning, to do that self-care first thing in the morning. Like,
yeah.
It's okay. Like, for me, I'm trying to do like a little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation in the morning, and just like, it's okay not to just dive right in. And it really is helping. And I'm a lot more productive now during the day. It helps.
Oh, yeah. So I used to wake up literally and come right into my office. I didn't eat, I didn't shower, nothing. I would come right into my office, right from bed, and start answering emails. And I was realizing that I was getting so stressed out reading all these emails, dealing with orders or questions or whatever, that I was like in a bad mood all day, or at least for most of the day. So I kind of switched that up, and I'm doing self-care in the morning. I do like I started with 5 minutes meditation. Now I'm doing 10 minutes. And I have complete squirrel brain. So I do a guided meditation on YouTube. There's this great channel called Great Meditation, real easy. And she has such a soothing voice, and she kind of just walks you through like what to think about and breathing and stuff like that. And then once I do that, I'll, find my motivational quote for the day for you guys for my Facebook group. And then I'll go make breakfast, have coffee, whatever. And then I come and answer emails. So it's like, let me get me taken care of first.
Yep.
Before I, worry about everything.
Exactly. That's it's if that works, that's perfect. You know,
The
it's like you
morning
gotta
is the most important to be on the right track. Yep.
exactly, exactly. Christina says, I do something called 3-2-1, 3 good things that happened I'm grateful for, 2 things I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and 1 good quality about myself.
That's awesome.
That I love that. And you know, to put in that 1 good quality about myself, that is key
Mhm.
too, because
Yep.
I think that's the one thing that,
I'm
you know,
writing this down.
really easy to like be so hard on yourself and like put yourself down when things don't go right. And that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's such good advice. I love that.
writing
That
that
I love
down.
that. Great
That's
advice.
great.
Thank you. That's perfect. Yeah,
Definitely.
it's
Love
so
that.
important to like, you know, find that right routine, and everybody's routine is going to be different. So, you know,
Mhm.
what works for me or Kristen might not work for Christina or Joe or,
Right.
you know, Penny or whoever else. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
it's just going to be, everybody's going to be different, and you just got to find out whatever's right, you know.
And it
Um,
takes time. I mean, I've been a full-time reseller for 3 years, and I'm still like reorganizing my day to see
mhm,
what works best for me. Like I
exactly.
said, I just started doing meditation like maybe a month ago, if that, and not jumping right into work when I first wake up, so and
Right.
that's 3 years in, and I'm
Yep.
still like changing my routine around to see what works the best.
Exactly. I also find end of the day routine is very key for me personally
Mhm.
also. So like I tend to, like you, I tend to I do like a reward system for myself. So when I do XYZ, then I will reward myself, and then I'll do this, and then I'll
Yep.
reward myself. But then when I'm done, when I finally like figure out what my end point of the day is going to be, then I have my definite reward time. Like I shut it down.
Yep.
And but I have to give myself enough time because like I have this routine that I have with Angel, and and she's very spoiled, but it's like and she knows, and like she waits for me, and she'll sit right by my office chair, and she'll like sit there and wait. And as soon as I shut that computer down and everything, she's like ready to go. And it's like she comes and she sits like right next to like my little like chair that I always sit in at night. And we get the pretzels out, we sit down, we watch like 1 hour of TV, and we snuggle, and like she'll sit on my lap and we'll eat pretzels. I mean, but
Aw.
it's like this like little routine, and
Mhm.
it's, to me, it's like so relaxing, so important. I get my like snuggle
Mhm.
time, and then I can like I just feel so relaxed, and then I can go to bed. You know,
Yep.
it's like for me, that's like my wind down time. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
my wind up and then my wind down, and
You
it's like
have
for
to
me,
have
that's my
that
self-care.
you have to have that turn off switch that you're going to
Mhm.
turn the work off for the day, because we work in our homes. It's very easy to just pop on that computer real quick, or check one
Yep.
more email, or pack one more sale, or whatever. So it's like you have to pick a time. I usually just, when the emails start to slow down at the end of like a video launch day, I'll just say, okay, you know what, done. I'm going to just shut that off, and I will revisit it in the morning, so, and people, I'll get to them in the morning, and they're like, whoa, you didn't answer me, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I went to bed.
I know, I know. I mean, yeah, I get that. I see that now too, you know. It's like, you know, I
Mhm.
don't want to lose out on this. Yeah, I
I
know.
know.
I get you. I see what time you emailed me. I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
not gonna let you lose out.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, people, they don't know, and I always tell them,
Mhm.
I always go in the order in which the
Yep.
emails are received. I never jump around, no worries.
Yep.
And I almost want to like put up like a away message on my emails, like going to bed for the night or whatever. But then I don't want to like tell everybody everything I'm doing all the time. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I know.
So it's a tough balance.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. I would love to hear if anybody else is in here, like what are some of your routines or anything like that that you guys are doing that you want to share, you know, let us know what are
Yeah.
some things that you guys do that work for you.
morning routines, night routines, even during the day, like the reward system, even if it's because that little break, like that little 10-minute break in between like that time block of work is so important. Like you need to just regain your thoughts. You need to just breathe. You need like a couple minutes of just,
Yep.
no craziness.
Exactly. So tell me about you. I mean, to me, you seem like, and just from my experience with you and talking to you, you seem like somebody that really believes in like supporting other people and really lifting people up and encouraging and all of that. Where did that come from? Is that something that you've always done, or you know?
Not really. I think it stems from the fact that when I started YouTube, I didn't have any help. I didn't have any friends on YouTube. I just stuck to myself because I didn't really know like what this whole YouTube community was about. So I just pumped out my videos. I learned about the YouTube algorithm. I learned everything myself. And now seeing like people start and grow and stuff, I'm like, you know what, I can help you. I did it, it worked for me, so I'm going to help you guys do it. And I figure, the internet's a big place, and I don't think anyone is in competition with me. I don't feel anyone is like out to get me, and if they are, then sorry, I don't feel that way. So
Yeah.
so I feel like the internet is so big that we all can have our little own space on the internet. There's going to be, an unlimited number of customers from all over the world. So I have no problem, helping people, sharing my secrets, stuff like that. So I think it kind of stems from me not having anyone to help me. So now I want to be there for other people.
Yeah. It is. There's a lot. There's a lot to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. And I know like for me, I jumped in and I didn't know what I was doing. And I just kind of meandered through it. And I mean, honestly, I feel like I've been lucky because I've met people along the way, like you, like Thelma, Dawn from Hudson Vintage. Like I've met a few people just from like Facebook or like randomly emailing going, hey, I have a question for you,
Yeah. But you know what? That's how it starts, and that's fine. That's cool. Like I didn't even know that like selling on YouTube existed. I didn't even know that you can do that. Like I just thought YouTube was like a place to watch funny videos or like informative videos or something. Like I had no idea this whole reseller world like existed. Like live sales and all that stuff. No clue. So 3 years ago I was like
Oh, I know, right? I know. Yeah,
cool.
I always like my experience with like reseller videos early on were, people that would just like take their cameras and go to garage sales.
Yeah.
And then eventually as I started to like develop my own niche, I started watching more, vintage sellers and jewelry sellers. And that's when I started discovering, oh, well, people actually sell. That's kind of cool.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And then
I
was
can
like,
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I would love to be able to do that, but nobody would ever follow me. Nobody would ever, and it literally took me like another like 2 years before I even got the guts to do anything.
Look, I get scared every time. Every live sale, even videos. Like if you guys saw my outtakes, like when I do my purse sales or something like that, I'll start with the intro and I'll be like, and I'll mess up and I'll be like, ah, damn it, nope, that doesn't work. All right, let me redo it.
I know.
Like it's totally normal. Like, and I get scared all the time too, like especially during live sales. And even tonight, my armpits are wet. Like I'm all nervous and everything, it's just normal,
Right.
It's okay.
I know. I mean, I wish, oh my God, my early live sales when I would try to do them on like Facebook lives or Instagram lives. Oh my God, those were terrible.
I've never done Facebook like live or anything like that, so I don't really know.
Oh my gosh, they were horrible. Oh, I would just stumble and I couldn't talk and I would be like shaking.
Oh yeah.
And it was terrible. And, eventually it got better, but I
Mhm.
mean,
It's the whole thing of like you are live. Everyone can hear you, see you. If you mess up, there's no, turning it off and starting over. So it's like
I know. I
Christina
know.
says we need a blooper reel.
Oh my God, that would be
I'll
funny.
see. I'll have to make sure I'm not cursing during the bloopers because I can't because I have a potty mouth in real life.
I know. Oh, me
But on
too.
YouTube, I'm very
Yeah.
PG,
Oh, well, my early Whatnot, like when I would sell luxury bags on Whatnot, like a year and a half ago, I did a lot. I used to do that's all I used to sell was luxury bags on Whatnot. And Whatnot, anything goes, I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Yeah. You
anything
can
goes.
play music, you can
Oh
curse.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't care. I was F this,
Mhm.
F that, like,
Mhm.
and I would play like 90s hip hop and like
Yeah.
blast it. And like, I mean, because that was really my crowd. I mean,
Mhm.
it wasn't,
It's definitely more accepted over there
it
on
is.
YouTube.
And
It's
like,
more
I
like
would have a younger
chill.
demographic there. So it's like,
Yep.
it kind of went. And
Yep.
I mean, I did pretty well. But still, I mean, it was, I don't know. Then I ended up moving to a different platform that was a little more high end. I had to clean it up a bit. And yeah, it was, and then when I came back, I kept it clean.
Mm.
So now I'm a little more classy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little less hood.
Yeah,
And I
same.
I live literally like a mile and a half outside Detroit. So
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
even if I mean, and you're not going to please everyone. That's something like YouTubers have to think about. Like, there's always going to be somebody that gets upset with something you do or say or sell or
Yeah.
price or whatever. Like, the comments can be so mean. I'm always deleting comments,
Yes.
blocking the person. So you'll never see like anything negative on my videos, like in the comments, because they have been done, deleted and blocked.
Yeah.
So I don't tolerate any of that stuff. And there's really no reason for it. Like go do something else with your life, you troll, like leave us alone. We're trying to, live our life over here.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's, you got to just brush that off and move on.
Yep.
But,
I know. I know. So okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, we probably all as resellers, not just in um okay, yeah. I was just going to say that. Okay.
oh my
So
gosh.
exactly. So we all as resellers deal with trolls or some kind of negativity by somebody.
Yep.
So how do we all deal with that? Okay, so you sell primarily on YouTube, right?
Yep.
So delete, block.
Look, I'll be honest, it used to get me very upset.
Mhm.
I've cried over comments. I've had people email me with mean things. I've cried over it. Like it's normal to
Mhm.
be upset. But I realized I'm like, you know what? They're not doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Okay? They probably wouldn't ever be able to. So that's why they're sitting behind a computer screen being a bully. And I'm like, you know what? Give them the finger, screw off, and I just started saying, like, instead of like looking at a comment and getting upset, I would just laugh. And I would kind of do in my head like the your mom joke, like somebody made okay, so the recent one was somebody made fun of my eyebrows, okay? Which this was a first. I get made fun of for my nails all the time, but my eyebrows, so they said, "Your eyebrows are too dark, too thick, and too short." So I just kind of do like, that joke, like, oh, your mom, like it's like a, coming
Yeah.
out, So in my head, I'm like, well, your mom is too thick, too dark, and too short. And I delete, and you just kind of laugh about it, instead. And I deleted it. Well, you have to block the person first, and then you can delete the comment. But I kind of just switched it up and just laughed about it. People make fun of my nails all the time. I look like, a hawk, my talons, the new one was they look like fishing bobbers or something, and I'm just like, okay, delete.
Yeah. I had somebody do the same thing with my nails.
They'll always find something.
Yeah.
They'll always find something. And with success comes jealousy, comes haters. It is normal. Everybody gets the haters, and you just have to really work on just ignoring them, brushing it off, saying a joke about it in your head, and moving on. You know, my block list on YouTube is probably like a mile long, you know, because I don't tolerate any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I say it a lot too. Like, if you make a negative comment in my comments, you're gonna get deleted. There's no need for it. If you don't like what you see or what you hear, then move on to the next video. There's no need to be mean, you know?
Right. Right.
So it's just a whole, again, the positive mindset thing. You just have to laugh it off, brush it off. And like I said, I wasn't always like that. I did get very upset, but now I'm just like, move along.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you know, on any platform, whether even like live platforms, you know, and whatnot, like, you know, a free gift that you threw in a package, you know, people
like,
will criticize that, like, it's free, like,
right?
shut
like,
up,
who
it's
gets mad at free stuff?
I know, it's like, oh, I don't like, you know, I don't like it, or I'm allergic to that. Like, I can't believe you put that in there. I'm allergic. Like,
because
okay, well,
people
then
just
give it away. Like,
you just can't be grateful for it. Like,
right,
just,
exactly.
You know?
Like, yeah, I had somebody do that to me. Like, it was a couple years ago, but it was like, yeah, you should have asked me before you put that in my package because I'm allergic. I'm like,
yeah, but how do we know that? You know,
yeah, like what,
we
like
don't
whatever.
know.
Like, I was trying to be nice, but you know,
Yeah, we're not doing it to be malicious or to
yeah,
give you an allergic reaction. Like,
exactly. Yeah, I was hoping that would happen.
yeah, right? Like, but you never know. Like, you know, people get offended very easily. You know, I've had somebody write me an email that they wrote me like 10 paragraphs about how I said, "Oh my God," in one of my videos, and how they're unsubscribing from me because of it. So I get it. You know, it's not really the best thing to say. So I have been working on that and saying, "Oh my gosh," instead. But the fact that you took time to write me this long email that you're going to unsubscribe because I said, "Oh my God," like, just move on then. Like, I'm sorry, but people forget this is my channel. This is your channel. You can do and say whatever you really want. You don't have to be PG. You don't have to, you know, stay like, you know, say, "Oh my gosh," or "Gee whiz, oh golly," you know, like, like you
Right, exactly.
You know, people criticize me all the time. They always send me, "Oh, you should do it this way. You should do that this way." Okay, but this is my channel. And I'm going to do what works for me. I will take your suggestions into account, of course, but you know, at the end, this is my channel.
Right, exactly. Do I know that a lot of people struggle with having that confidence to be able to handle those types of criticisms and all of that. And it, like you said, it took a while.
It took time.
It
It
took
really
time
did.
to get
Yep.
there. Do you have any, like, for those of those people that might be in, you know, the audience, or, you know, watching, do you have any tricks to kind of like get there faster or to overcome some of that?
You just have to really think that the person writing this comment or writing this email or whatever really doesn't have any idea who you are, what you do on your channel. Because if you click on the person and it brings you to their channel, it'll show you how like how many comments they've commented on your channel, like, and usually it's none, because you can see, like, if I were to click on like Stina Resells, it will say like, "Oh, she did, you know, 375 comments on my channel," whatever. But you'll notice that these people are literally just sitting behind the computer, picking any video on the internet and writing some kind of criticism about you. They really don't know anything about you. So you just have to remember that and think that they're just either jealous or just being a random hater. The trolls on the internet are real, and
Very
they
real.
will really sit at the computer all day and try to get rises out of people. Don't let them have that gratification.
Yeah.
Just turn it off. And like I said, make a little joke about it in your head, like, oh, well, your mom or whatever. Like, you know, and it took me time. Like I told you, I used to cry about it all the time. And every once in a while I'll get mad and, you know, I'll tell my husband about the stupid comment that somebody said, but you just got to change that mindset. You got to keep that positivity and just realize that they are just trolling the internet one video at a time, writing whatever they can come up with in that second.
Yep. You're giving them power.
Oh yeah.
When you allow them to like live in your mind.
Yep. And the worst thing to do is to actually do a video about it, because then they're like, yes, I got them. You know, I made them upset. I made them so upset that they had to make a YouTube video about it.
Oh
so
my God.
They're like, you know,
there's somebody that I watch, and then that person always makes videos about the trolls. And I'm like,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Just don't. Drives me crazy.
Because they will move right along if they don't get the rise from you.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah. And more will come. It's like you do that, and then it's like all it does is attract. It's like a disease.
Oh yeah. Because I mean the troll can put it in the search. Like oh, bullies, or you know, internet trolls, whatever, type it in the search, and like videos will come up about, you know, people talking about how they got so upset about comments, and they're like, oh, this person's perfect then, and then just start, you know, typing away. So yeah, don't do that. Do not do that.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. Don't feed the evil.
Yep.
Don't. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's just, yeah, the more you just can't give somebody that power.
Yep. You know, and you know, what you can say though is like, you know, every once in a while on my channel or my lives, I'll be like, you know, just throwing it out there. There's no negativity on my channel tolerated. Any negative comments, you know, you will be blocked. The comments will be deleted, and you know, that's it. Because once you block somebody, they can still watch your videos because YouTube is a public platform, but they will not be able to comment on your videos or comment in your live chats. So that will be good enough for me, as you can watch me succeed, but you can't try to take me down.
Right. Exactly. That's very true.
Yep. Don't feed the evil.
True. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. But be the better person. Yeah.
The better, bigger person. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just like a bully in real life. You know, you keep getting upset, or you keep, you know, fighting back or whatever, they're just going to keep doing it because they're getting the rise that they wanted. You know, so the more you ignore them, the more they're like, oh, well, this isn't working. This is boring. Like, I'm just going to move on to somebody else then.
Exactly. Yep. So where do you feel you want to go from here?
Just keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep growing. I am starting to implement more of like not reseller, like YouTuber coaching. You know, I have the audits available, the channel audits. I'm going to be working on like workshops, like where you can it'll be either like a free one or like a low cost one. And it will teach you about a certain, you know, aspect of YouTube or your videos or, you know, your channel, stuff like that. So that's why I created the newsletter, because I'll be talking about all that stuff in there and, you know, providing links and stuff like that. Hey, Thelma. Hey, everybody else. And hi. So I plan on stepping more into like the YouTube coaching as well, and kind of growing that way and creating like digital products that I can create once, and it will make me money like over and over again, because people are buying that workshop or that, you know, audit or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm always trying to think about something that I can, you know, add to, you know, because how, I can only sell so many pieces of jewelry in a video. I can only
Right.
sell so many purses in a video. So I have to think about other ways to incorporate other streams of income. That's why I have my jewelry subscription boxes, so that's like a monthly income, and I send out those jewelry subscription boxes every month. So I try to just keep thinking of ways to make that passive income. Well, subscription boxes aren't really passive income, but it's close.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean though. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. Now, have you already been working on that, or like has
Yeah.
that okay? So it is
Yep.
something
So
you're
the
already working
subscription boxes I've been doing for probably 2 years now.
on. Mhm.
The YouTube coaching, I literally like am just starting. I think I started that maybe a month ago,
Mhm.
but I've done 3 YouTube audits so far, but I'm not really advertising it yet because I am working on how exactly I'm going to do this, because I am not tech savvy at all. So to try to figure out how to create like a workshop or like a webinar or something like that is like mind blowing to me.
Yeah, I
The
know.
learning process is slow, but
Mhm.
it will get there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I always say, like, I know a couple people have said to me in the past, or even through emails or something, I even had somebody text me and ask if it was okay to do something because it's something that I do, because they don't want to seem like they're copying me. And I said, no, copy me. Do it. If you think what I'm doing is working and you can do it too, then do it. I will never think that you took that from me or you did that or whatever. When I came out with the jewelry subscription boxes, I was completely honest with everyone. I took that idea from Texas Scout Treasures. Okay. And I was completely honest about it. I'm like, Texas Scout Treasures is doing jewelry subscription boxes. I think that's an awesome idea. I want to offer it too. It's
Oh,
not
that's
a big,
awesome.
it's not a big deal. If you,
Mhm.
so, I don't think anyone's copying me or anything. So I say, if you think something I'm doing works and you can do it too, do it.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
So not a lot of people are open like that, like open with ideas like that and saying, hey, I've I've got this idea, or I'm doing this and all of that, and if I see you doing that, that's great. I feel that's I think that's great. A lot of people will get upset about that.
Oh yeah.
um why are you I mean is why are you so open to it? I mean, like, I mean, that just kind of goes along with how you are so different among
It kind of goes back to like what I
among
was
other
saying
women.
before. Like, I feel like the internet is so big that there's room for all of us.
Yeah.
And we all put like a different little spin on everything,
Mhm.
so, someone can take something I'm doing and maybe do it just a little different, or,
Mhm.
whatever, put their little spin on it. They have a different set of customers. They have, so it really doesn't matter to me. I actually think it's kind of flattering if somebody is
Yes.
like something so much that I'm doing that they're going to do it too. I'm like, that is freaking awesome. Like, you let me know how it goes. And if you need help, I'm right here.
Yeah. I see. I feel that way too. I think that's amazing, and I think that's such a great attitude to have, and it's why I admire you, because you are so open like that. um it's like the whole women empowering other women,
Mhm.
or people, people empowering other people. I think we need to have more of that in this
Yeah.
world. And and I just feel that that's just like a great quality that you have. And there's so many people, so many resellers that I think are afraid to copy, or afraid to try something, because there's a lot of people online that I see or in Facebook groups that I see that are like, no, that's my idea. No, I'm doing that. You can't do that. You know,
Well, I'm not very competitive, so I think that has a lot to do with it too. Like,
yes.
I am not competitive at all. Like, I would rather sit back or sit out than to like be competitive about something.
Mhm.
And, like the internet's a really big place. And then it goes back to, I wish I had this help when I was starting out. So that
Yeah,
has a lot to do with it too.
exactly. Yes, exactly. That, I mean, like, I'm all for, being a collective, I think we should all help each other. And I just think I mean, I personally just think that's pretty awesome.
And also there's only so many things that you can come up with on your own, like
Yeah.
without, because I don't know if you guys watch Purse Trippin', Kim with Purse Trippin'.
Mhm.
I had somebody, this is a long time ago though. I had someone comment on my purse sale video. They wrote, "Oh, you're riding the coattails of Purse Trippin'." Sorry, I didn't know she was the only person allowed to sell purses on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all doing the same thing, just a little different from each other. Like, who
Yeah.
cares? Like, we're all selling jewelry. All of us are selling jewelry. We're not getting mad at each other that we're
Yeah.
selling.
There's several people that do it. I mean, you do it, costume jeweler does it. There's a lot of people that
Mhm.
are doing it. And it's like, no. I mean, she was actually the one of the last ones that I found
Mhm.
that did it, you know. I mean, and she was actually one of the more recent ones. Costume jeweler, his
Mhm.
his videos were the first ones that I
Mhm.
found.
Yeah.
And then
He
I think
he
I
dove
found
in
you.
like he dove in head first. I was friends with him for a little
Yeah.
bit. He blew up. Like it's really
Yeah.
awesome to see how fast he grew. He
Yeah.
loves the thrift so much. Like
I
it's
know, I know. Every day he's out there. Every day. He's fun to
if I
watch.
could, I would too.
Yeah, he's fun to watch because he's
Yeah.
traveled all over the place, and
Mhm.
yeah, he's so much
Yeah.
fun to watch. I love watching him. He was the first one I found, and then I
Yeah.
found you. And then and Dawn was like Hudson Vintage. I've been watching her for a long time. And was like, I think it was Dawn first for jewelry, Dawn first, then Thelma, and then costume jeweler, then you. Like, those were like my progression. And then
Yeah.
finally I'm like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, and
And I was like, I'm just gonna dive in,
and
I
yeah, what
mean,
Zelma's saying, and everyone does it in their own way, and that's why
yeah,
people watch you. Everyone has their own
exactly.
personality, their
Hmm.
own way of doing it, their own jokes, their own like little life stories they'll plug in there every once in a
Yeah,
while, or like the dogs, stuff like that.
exactly.
So everyone has their own little spin on it. So it's just like you sell purses, but so do I. But so
Mhm.
what? I
Right.
still took your videos and put it in my Facebook group, and I said, "Go shop Leslie's purses."
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know?
And I mean, I do, my purse videos are like once every 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Not at nearly as often.
Yep.
And mine are mostly jewelry. And my jewelry is way different than most everybody else's, I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, we all
And
have different thrift stores. We all have
mhm,
different, sources that we get
and
our stuff from. So I think
yeah.
it's perfectly fine.
And people usually want to see more Angel than me half the
Yeah.
time. So,
I always get comments. When can we see Dallas? Where's Dallas? How is
yep.
he? But
Exactly.
that's cool. People care.
Yep.
They connect. That's how they can connect.
Yep.
So that's
Yep.
cool.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, the Fendi bag was beautiful. I'm so glad you liked that one. That
I
was one of
love
my
it.
favorites.
Yeah, I'm starting like a little collection of all my, designer bags, but I thrift them all. So,
Mhm.
they're all secondhand except the one Gucci bag that I bought at the Gucci outlet and I saved up for that, and I was able to get. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun to find things too. Like the hunt is really fun, and like I said, everyone finds different things, and so I have no problem sharing other people and stuff like that because, like I said, the customers are always gonna
Mhm.
come. There'll be new customers all the time.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so much fun, and it's so much fun to meet the people and get to know them and stuff.
Mhm.
The customers on YouTube, I find, are so much different than the customers on Whatnot or the
Yeah.
customers that I used to have on Shop Shops or, you know, on eBay or anywhere else.
Yep.
So let's see. Um, how many different streams of income do you have? How many do you have?
Let's see. So I have YouTube, the direct sales. I have the Google AdSense, the ads, because I'm monetized. I have the jewelry subscription boxes. I have Poshmark. I have eBay. So that's 5. And I think that's it. And now I'm starting like the YouTube coaching type of thing. So that'll be 6 at some point. I think that's it. I think.
So I have YouTube, and then I just got like monetized for the memberships.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah, the memberships. I have that too,
Yeah.
but it's like 15.
Nothing. Yeah, but for my memberships, I'm doing like discount levels. So like at 2 of the memberships, you can have discounts on products. So like that makes it a little bit more incentivized, I think.
Yeah.
So actually, I have some people who have done that.
Just make sure with your memberships that you're actually not losing money by giving people like the discounts and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I've got so YouTube, I've got eBay, Poshmark. I just gave up my Etsy store because I was losing money on it. So eBay, Poshmark. Then I have Whatnot, which is huge. That's probably my main source next to YouTube now. And then I do reseller coaching, which has been decent. So other than that, that's what I do. It's my 5. I have 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you guys? Let us know what your income, your streams of income are.
Yeah.
I used to have 2 antique booths, but I closed them down. They weren't really profiting as great anymore. And then I moved and I was over an hour away. So that was like, no.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, I was doing really well with the antique booths. It's just over time, you know, I don't know what happens. Like the brick and mortars are just not really doing it anymore. You know, people always ask me, are you ever going to get a shop? Are you going to open up a shop? No, no.
I know. I get people wanting that all the time. And I have so I have my website. Well, I guess my website's, another stream of income, but I don't sell a ton on there, but it's in Google. And Jackie's a stripper.
Yeah, I just read that.
So my website's on Google, so people think I have a brick and mortar, so I get phone calls all the time. But you know, I think people just, you know, want to come and like shop in my, you know, what I do have on my website. But I don't have that much, you know. But what's nice about having me in Google is that I get people calling me for estate buyouts.
Oh, nice.
So that is probably like what I would recommend if anybody does have a website or anything like that. Make sure you're registered in Google. Definitely do that, because you will have phone calls. People will call you for estate buyouts. And that's how I get a lot of my hauls.
That's cool.
A lot. Or you could, like the guy that I'm getting all this rhinestone jewelry from, if you've seen my last few videos, I've partnered with him, and so he actually bought out like the entire estate. So he's got like more than just the jewelry, but I buy all costume from him. So he gets like the silver, the gold, everything. And then I buy all the costume. Like, so we split the buyouts.
That's cool.
And so it's been great.
That's a good resource to have for sure.
Yep.
So yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I have that kind of relationship with one of the guys who runs estate sales. And it just happened because I just would go to all his estate sales. I would find them on, you know, estatesales.net or org, or whatever it is. And I just was like, started talking to him every once in a while, ask, whatever, ask questions, and he's like, are you a dealer? Are you a, what, like, so like, you kind of like, oh, do I want to tell them? Are they going to like not give me a deal anymore? Like, I didn't know, but I'm like, you know what? Like, so I told him everything I did, and he's like, that's awesome. He's like, you want to come to all my sales. I'll hook you up. And he usually gives me like half off anything that I buy from his sales. And he even like will put stuff on the side for me if he knows that like I'll like it, because I tend to go for the jewelry and the purses. And it's so cute because he's like an older man, and he'll be like, come here, look what I put aside for you. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, yes, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. And, so we help each other out, just like with your guy, you over time, you kind of just build relationship with people, and that really helps. It's like that little edge that you have over other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I find that as a reseller, I think if you're positive, I mean, speaking in our positivity sense, if you're positive, if you're kind, if you're out there and you're going to these estate sales. Now, thrift stores, I think, are different because you have to be really careful in those. But at the estate sales, at all of these places like that, if you're upfront and you tell them, and you tell them that you're a reseller, most of the time they will hook you up.
I think they want to get rid of it. They want it gone, but the thrift stores are more greedy. They want the money for the stuff. Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed.
Let's see.
Ooh, Amazon. I heard Amazon is hard.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about it, but I heard it's really tough it's very competitive.
Oh, wow. Makes videos for people who have passed away. Wow. Okay. That sounds like that's difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. That would be hard.
I don't think I could.
I know.
But that's, you got to be a special person to do that. So
exactly.
that's cool,
Exactly. Whew. Yeah, Amazon, I think, would be hard, especially like doing for me, I'm like strictly vintage, and I think that would be hard for that. But
yeah,
if you're doing a lot of, maybe more modern stuff, it might not be as bad, but yeah.
True.
Let's see what else we have. Yeah, I think, but yeah, I think like estate sales, I think if you're, if you work out something with the estate sale people, a lot of times they will. And I have one person that'll call me before the sale and set things aside.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few people, a few resellers that will, they know the person or they know the sale, and they get like, get there an hour early. They'll get like first dibs on stuff. And I'm like, that is cool. Like,
I know. And then other people will get mad about it. But, a lot of times these estate sale people, they know that you're going to buy a lot of stuff.
Right.
They'd rather sell it in bulk. Like, I mean, they know that when I come in, I'm going to buy, 10 bags or a half a closet. When I was buying clothes, like a half a closet or most of the jewelry or whatever, like they know that's what I'm going to do. So they're going to.
But that goes back to the whole competitive thing too. People are going to get mad if they're competitive, like the guy the estate sale guy, he'll tell me, I always ask him at the estate sale, when's your next one? Where is it? What's it going to be? Blah, blah, blah. And this one time he's like, oh, there's going to be a ton of jewelry, like come by, first thing or whatever. So I did. And I'm looking around and I'm like, where's the jewelry? And he's like, so last night, this guy called me because he saw the pictures on the internet and he made me a deal that I couldn't refuse. So he bought it all. And I'm like, but what? I'm like, what? That's fine. You get your money, you do what you got to do. But a lot of people would get pissed about that.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I get that though. I'm like, well, you got to make money. I get it, but.
Yep, exactly. I've done those videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would cry every time. Yep, I cry every time, but it comes out beautiful. Aw. Yeah, I'm way too emotional for that. Be crying all the time.
I know.
Mm-mm.
I know. I can't no. I mean, I guess I'm better with people as long as it doesn't involve like animals. Like
Oh yeah.
I cannot handle anything involving animals.
Yep.
But
I mean, I can just think about something, I'll just start I'll start bawling. Yep.
I know. Yeah. Crazy. Well, anything else you want to any other tips, tricks, ways to stay positive?
Let's see. Let's look at my notes here. So really just reading has really been helping me lately. I used to read all the time. And then, things at my last apartment got really bad with the downstairs neighbor. So I couldn't even concentrate on reading. So I took like a couple years off of reading. I just got back into it a couple months ago. Anything positive, self-help, the internet is a great place, Amazon, whatever. And I've just been reading a bunch of books, and that really has helped. And, just you got to really work on it. It takes a lot of work, and uppercase and lowercase. You guys are funny. I don't know, who are you asking about the zodiac sign? I'm Gemini, if you're asking me by chance.
You are, so am I.
Yeah, nice. When's your birthday?
May 23rd.
Okay, I'm June 9th. It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress. You guys got to just change that mindset. If you start to get like, depressed or unmotivated or whatever, you got to just stop yourself and maybe go read a chapter of that book or look on the internet for that quote, or, you got to train the mind to stay that way. So
what's a couple books that you recommend?
So there is a series of books by Jen Sincero.
Oh, I love her.
You are a badass. Okay. All those books, I think there's like three or four,
yeah,
something like that. Read them all. Okay. They are amazing. I saw her. I went to a live convention with her, and she spoke, and she signed my book. I took a picture with her. Wow. It was awesome. Read her books. It's not just about like business owners, but she's like a coach, like a life coach, like a business coach too. She actually does, live boot camps and stuff like that. And she's just really awesome. So all of her books, You Are a Badass, and there's like 2 or 3 others, I think, are amazing. The one I shared in my newsletter last week was called The Successful Mind. I forget who wrote it, but it's like a yellow book with like a picture of a face on it, like a side profile, I think. That book is freaking awesome. Okay. It's made up of 33 chapters written by 33 different life coaches, public speakers, doctors, empowerment people, stuff like that. And it's basically their advice on how to have a successful life, positive mindset. And what's cool about the book is that it doesn't, like the chapters don't lead into each other. You can read them separately. And there's a table of contents with like the topic that they talk about. So you can jump around, or you can read the whole thing, cover to cover, which is what I did. And I mean, I got so much out of that book. I'll probably read it again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
that one's called, what was that one called?
The Successful Mind.
Okay. Successful Mind.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's yellow. So I'm sure if you look it up on Amazon, you'll see it right away. And the first book Jen Sincero wrote, You Are a Badass, I think it's yellow too, actually, which is weird. I read that book twice, and it was just awesome. So I have like a list of books I'm going to read. So as I read them, I will let you guys know.
So one of my favorites is The 5-Second Rule. You
Okay.
like that one by Mel
Nope.
Robbins?
I'm writing it down.
So that's a really good one. I'm like just looking at my list. That's a really good one.
Okay.
And then Radical Confidence.
Okay.
That's a really good one. And that one is by Lisa. I can't pronounce her last name. It's Bilyeu. Bilyeu. That one's really good though. Really, really good.
Oh, I also listen to podcasts. So
Yes.
I never really was into podcasts, but I recently found somebody. Her name is Keisha Get Mary, and her podcasts are awesome. She's actually an empowerment like speaker, and she talks to you as if you guys are best friends, like in the podcast. And I'll catch myself like answering her back, and I'm like, oh, she's not really there. So, Kate, I'll see if I can write it in the chat. But it's her podcast is called Empower Her. She's really, really great. There's like Boss Babe and Gold Digger, like Gold Digger, like not gold.
Mm-hmm.
So all those women are awesome. I have like a whole list. Entrepreneurs on Fire, Women of Impact, Earn Your Happy. And not all of the podcasts are, relatable or relate to me. I just listen to the ones that spark my interest or whatever. Brendan Bouchard is great. He's a motivational speaker. His podcasts tend to be a little long though, so it's hard for me to listen to them all sometimes. They're like an hour long sometimes. Atomic Habits. That's a book, Christina?
Yes. That's a good one.
Okay. Wrote that down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've got 5-second rule in there too. Yep. Girl, Wash Your Face, Rachel Hollis. That's a good one. That's I'm still going through my big old list of books that I've got here. It's got everything in here.
Yeah, so reselling podcasts, I don't really listen to necessarily like reselling podcasts, but I listen to like YouTuber podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Like Entrepreneurs on Fire is a lot about like YouTube and stuff. There's one called YouTube Creators Hub, and that talks a lot about YouTube, and they interview a lot of like bigger YouTubers, and they tell them to talk about their tips and stuff like that. So that's a good one. There's one called YouTube Strategy that I listen to. Like the one that just came out is called Viral Video Myths and How to Actually Succeed on YouTube. So I'll probably listen to that. So yeah, there's a bunch. You can just type in like into your podcast library, like YouTube and stuff, and it'll all come up.
There is a couple reselling podcasts on YouTube that I've kind of listened to. There's one by the Nurse Flipper is on it. I'm not sure if it's hers or not, but hers is pretty good. And then ADH Dave or ADHD Dave, he has one that's decent. Both of them are good, but they're more like Nurse Slippers is always good. She's really good. I like her. Yeah. I've talked to her before. She was one that I like emailed when I was kind of like starting to like basically just like, hey, I'm doing this. And she was cool because when I was on Whatnot, she like rated me a couple times, like, which is, sending all of her people into my live, like when she was done, which was awesome.
Nice.
And then, but the ADH Dave, he's really nice, but he seems really nice, but his is like more like guy. It's like a guy
like dude stuff.
Yeah. And it's all about like flipping, like video games and that kind of shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
not what I do, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's interesting, just kind of like that perspective.
Yep.
And it's interesting because he just went full time, which is kind of like an interesting take there. But those are the only ones that I've ever listened to. Yes, Trash the Cash. Yes, that's what it is. Trash the Cash. And it's a pretty good one, but it's more like guy driven, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
cool. So I hope we can got all our little shares of stuff.
yeah,
I
you
wrote
do
down
have to get their humor too. And their humor is, I mean, it is kind of funny. Theirs is it is kind of funny, but you know, it's not my niche. So
yeah, I like to, if I'm gonna watch like something or listen to a podcast or something, I want to be able to learn from it.
yeah.
And like if it's like guy stuff, like I don't really sell guy stuff, so it doesn't really relate. So it's like
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of the reseller or not podcasts, a lot of the reseller YouTube videos are like a lot of the more standard ones, like the thrift with me, like go to the garage sales with me. A lot of them are like, they're just like a whole nother, like, it's just like a whole nother genre almost. And like, kind of like what the vintage jewelry kind of like, it's almost like what we're doing, like in our little world corner of it is like just a very different like niche than what that is. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch it. And I do a lot of that, go to the estate sale video at the estate sales, but
yep.
that's a whole nother thing.
It's hard. I always want to.
Joe, I'm a guy and I don't sell guy stuff.
I saw that. And hey, it's true because like there's Steven from Sugar Vision and he sells all jewelry, you know? So it's just for the most part, guys sell dude stuff.
Exactly.
But I always want to do the thrift with me's, but I feel like when I go to the thrift store, I need to focus on like what I'm actually looking at, not like what I'm trying to record. So I have a hard time like doing both.
Exactly. I feel like really self-conscious when I am doing it. And like I got busted one time by a person. Like if you can't have a camera, then post that you can't have a camera.
Right.
But why couldn't you have a camera? If you're in like a sale, why can't you like have I don't know. This woman was like, you can't have cameras here. And I'm like, okay.
I know. I get nervous about that too, especially at estate sales, because it's more like intimate and like close quarters and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to like hide your phone or whatever. So I totally get it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I got busted, but actually I like put that as like my like hook in on like my thumbnail, and man, I got a lot of views on that video.
Because that was clickbait. Yep, you did
exactly.
That's super important. You gotta like grab that attention of the viewers and make them click that video.
Exactly. So that was kind of cool, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I definitely get nervous about that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Oh,
yep, way too focused on the thrift. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's fun though. It is fun. I kind of like doing the videoing at the thrift or at the estate sale, but I just buy so much and have it shipped here on auction. Or whatever. So
and then it's always like, how do you like hold your phone and hold all your stuff that you're buying, and then you're like, you know, juggling everything. There's so much to think about.
Yeah, you need that GoPro. And I tried to get a GoPro at one point, and like it just did not work. And I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah, I'm not that fancy. Just my phone. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. I should like, you know, pretend like Angel's a like a seeing eye dog and like put a little GoPro on her and just
Right?
take her everywhere. Be like, I'm blind, I can't see, and then have her be like my little GoPro holder.
Oh, that's cute. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get glasses with the secret glasses with the cameras. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a great idea.
They have the Ray-Ban makes those, but it's just I think you can only take picture with it. I don't know if you can actually record,
Like,
but
be like
yeah.
James Bond.
Mhm.
Joe Bond.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, too funny. Too
Yep.
funny. Any other questions for Kristen? Or Kristen, do you have any other tips for us?
Not really. I mean, if you have a specific, topic to tip about, but yeah, just, it's a work in progress to stay positive. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, I do it to help me too. So
Yeah.
it's not easy for me. It's probably not easy for anybody, and it's a daily struggle when you're here in the house by yourself and all you want to do is hang out and snack and watch TV or, whatever. But you got to just really buckle down, do
Yep.
your time blocks if you want, and do your little 10-minute, 15-minute reward in between and set those goals. And I always think if I don't work today, I'm not going to make money, can't pay my bills. Dallas doesn't get his treats. So I try to think like drastic, so it kind of like gets in my head more.
I know. Oh yeah, one thing I was going to mention is last week we did talk about, Dawn had mentioned like a two done or done whatever that was, like two
Oh yeah,
his done list.
yeah.
And I did it. I did feel a little bit more accomplished doing it. But it still didn't solve all my problems.
Right.
So, and Kristen said the same thing. So I don't know if anybody else tried it and how it worked. I did like it because it did make me feel a little bit better that I was accomplishing things.
Yeah.
But I still need better productivity in my life. So I know Dawn and I did talk about like maybe doing like more scheduling of the day. And I think Kristen, you were trying to do that too. So maybe we can discuss that a little bit more next week.
Yeah, like I definitely found, because I tried both. I did the was done list and the to-do list. I do to-do list all the time. Basically, almost every day I write down, what needs to be done and I check it off when it's done. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, yes, I did everything or whatever. Or I'll be like, oh, let me just hurry up real quick. I'll work a little later and finish it. I felt when I did the was done list, or has done, whatever it was called, I kind of was forgetting things that needed to be done. But you can kind of do both, really. Like you can just kind of do both. I like the to-do list. You can check it off. You don't forget anything. For me, the to-do list works better. So.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Because then it becomes your what's done.
That's true. Once you check it off. Once you check it off. Well, thank you so much for joining, and I appreciate it. Yes, and thank you everybody who joined us. I appreciate everybody who joined, and hopefully you guys will join us next week. And we'll talk a little bit more about, ways to accomplish more in our day. And if anybody else has other topics that they want to discuss, definitely send me a line. I would love to hear from you. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Thank you.